the class before, so
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, Gabriella, you have to go through the pain again here, but actually, shouldn't be too painful. I'm just gonna tell you, let's see if we can get the, yeah. Okay. So, Professor Nick was kind enough to let me speak in the class, just to tell you a little bit about the Entrepreneurship Center here at Framingham State. And has anybody besides Gabriella, has anybody ever been down there? Oh, yeah, you're not great. Super. Yeah, I think I recognize you.
I just went one time off the door, nobody was there. So
Oh, really? Was a bummer. Yeah, sometimes there are people in the building, but they may not be downstairs. So we try to keep an intern downstairs, but I don't know if it's possible. So yeah, so I'm Michael Clouser. I'm the director of the center. I also teach entrepreneurship. I've been a professor myself. I've started multiple companies. I was a venture capitalist in Silicon Valley. I've run incubators and accelerators as well. And yeah, I guess I've got a lot of stories, like a lot of professors do, I guess. But I guess I was thinking about one to walk up that's kind of relevant for the audience here. How many people are not undergrads? Okay, perfect. So it's an undergrad audience. So I actually, as an undergraduate student, I was pretty fairly young and naive, like a lot of us are. I started out in university when I was 18. I was rushing a fraternity, and one of my fraternity brothers asked me, "Hey, do you want to work for the bus company? You get to sell bus tickets, in the lobby of the student union, like kind of like McCarthy Center, right?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know." And he said, "Well, you get paid whatever it was per hour at the time. It was kind of good. It was cash." And I was like, "Okay." And he's like, "Yeah, and also it's a great way you can meet lots of women. It's a good way to meet girls because they'll come up and talk to you at the stands." So I'm like, "Okay, great, I'll do that." So anyway, I started selling these bus tickets, and they were for trips from Ithaca to like Boston or New York, just for students. And then they were like, "Oh, can you put up posters for us? And we'll pay you the same rate, put up posters around the dorms." I said, "Yeah, okay, I'll do that." So I started doing that, and then I discovered, I said, "Hey, you know what? I see all these other posters up there." Because at first I was really nice, I was trying to put a little poster where other people's posters weren't. And actually, that's not the way to do it when you poster. You want to be really aggressive and get front and center and go on top of other people's posters, right? And so they kind of had to train me on that. And then I said, "Well, since I'm putting up posters, I might as well put up more." So I started calling the companies, the other firms or organizations that had posters up on the poster boards, and I call them up and say, "Hey, listen, this is Mike Clouser. I'm a student, I'm going around postering. I'll put up the posters for you all over campus. You give me the posters, $50 a week." And a lot of them were like, "Yeah, sure, you'll put up in the whole campus for $50." And I said, "Yeah." And they're like, "Okay, great." So before I knew it, I had 10 clients. I shouldn't say before I knew it, but it took a few weeks. So I had about 10 clients who would pay me, $50 a week. So I was grossing, you do the calcs on that, I was grossing $500 a week, just putting up posters, working 15 hours a week. So you annualize that, right? It's $26,000. Well, at the time, and I won't tell you what year I graduated from undergrad, but like the starting salary for students in hospitality, because I was a hospitality minor, was like 22 or major, sorry, it was like $22,000 a year. So I mean, I was making more putting up posters and having my own little business. And I didn't really think about it until after I took a job and started working. But I think the point here, the moral of the story is when you start, I'm a big believer is when you start a new business, do something that can generate cash flow and then pivot, right? So what you want to do is figure out the minimal thing you can start to do, where you can start to get cash in. So one of the most, the other example of this is like Chuck Feeney. He eventually started duty-free shops and became a billionaire. I don't know how many people really shop at duty-free. But he started selling sandwiches door to door on the college campus, because at the time there wasn't like university food service like you have now. Students were hungry, so he sold sandwiches, made them somewhere he got access to a kitchen. And then from there, after undergrad, he started, this is, back after World War II and so forth, he started selling, or back after the Korean War. When the Japanese were traveling, he was selling cigarettes and booze to the people coming off the ships. And then that turned into duty-free shops where he got the airport and of course expanded from there and became a billionaire. So I'm a big believer in like the cash flow. Do something you can just start it, get cash flow coming in, and you can pivot and you can change and grow that, build layers around that. So anyway, quick lesson there. Okay, what is the Entrepreneur Innovation Center? Well, we are what is known in parlance, if you will, as an entrepreneur service organization, an ESO, as they call us now. So this includes everything from incubators, accelerators, networks, venture builders. There's a whole review of these entrepreneur service organizations. So we are that. We service entrepreneurs essentially. Interestingly enough, we're a department within the College of Business. Not to get into university hierarchy, but we are situated there, like a lot of entrepreneurship centers are in many universities, but not all. Some are freestanding or university-wide, but we actually focused. We serve the wider community, but we really like to focus on the business students as a primary customer, if you will. And we have incubation space, so we're on Worcester Road. I would pull up a map here. I won't bore you with the Google search and looking, but anyway, if you Google us, you'll find us on the map. So we're a little bit off of campus. To be quite honest, yeah. Your Professor Nick got lost the other day coming down. So if you go straight down the road here, State Street, you'll take a right and go down to the next intersection where there's a light, you'll cross over and we're on the right-hand side. So technically our address is Worcester Road, but we're actually a little bit off of the road. We're like on the side road. Or if you walk around down the service road, has anybody ever gone down the service road there where the service trucks kind of almost hit you? Walking, anybody? No. You know where the van goes down, the shuttle? So if you go around that way, you can get there even faster. I got here in 8 minutes coming up. So we're down there. We're a freestanding building. We have the whole space. Next slide, please, Mike. Thank you. We have 3 floors of dedicated space. So all of our space is all about entrepreneurs and innovation. And we were founded by this gent. Anybody ever had this class? Oh, a lot of you, yeah. Robert Krim was one of the co-founders or founders, and then there's a whole bunch of other people I've met that also claim that they're founders as well, the EIC, but it was founded like more than 10 years ago. And I think the building's been in service now for about a decade, where it's actually been an entrepreneur center. So I was at an event last night in Boston, and people were asking me like, oh, why did you start the Entrepreneur Center? And then I had to be honest and tell them, well, I didn't actually start it. It was started by Bob Krim 10 years ago. And they're like, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah, he wrote the book on Boston and innovation. And so anyway, that's us. Check out our website. I gave you our QR code. And we have socials we post on like Instagram, TikTok. What else? Yeah, obviously LinkedIn. I don't think we use Facebook so much anymore, and then we're experimenting with Blue Sky now, so we've been posting on Blue Sky as well. So we keep it pretty up to date. Actually, our interns actually manage the website and develop it and keep it maintained. Last semester, we had the Food Entrepreneurship Summit. It was one of our big events. I don't know if anybody was able to come along to that, but it was all about food and food startups. We even had Kane's Chicken there, the marketing director, to talk about the Kane's story, how they started and grew through the US. We had Kona Ice and some other food related startups. We even had a workshop for students to make energy drinks. And the only place we could fit it in was in the morning. So it was the first thing, and one of our local energy drink entrepreneurs named Maria Andrese, who started Jua. She gave this seminar, and people made their own energy drinks and concoctions, and then they couldn't sit still the rest of the morning. It was kind of, we should have done it the other way around. So we hosted that in November. Yeah, real quick, just some tidbits about the center. We've got a photography room. I wanted to show you this. That's for products, so that's free to use. If you're doing any kind of product, you can use our photography room for free as a student. This is another viewpoint of it. There's me. Now, I didn't put that up there to be vain, but my intern took this photo of me in the photography room for LinkedIn photos. So we are offering everybody as well, students free LinkedIn photos. If you want to come down, we'll do your LinkedIn or faculty as well. And partly the students get experience doing photography that way, obviously. There's our conference room, and I think Gabriella sat right there. Was that your seat, Gabriella? No, it's very nice. There we go. Kind of fun. But that's where I hold my class. Then we have events there and so forth. We had an Etsy training workshop for Etsy startups. That was led by Paulina, my intern, about a year ago now. So we're going to do some more of these e-commerce related trainings for people that are optional. Yeah, there's the folks in the Etsy, in case you recognize anybody. Actually, Stephanie, anybody know Stephanie LaRue? John introduced me. So Stephanie is now one of our interns, so thank you for that. And okay, this is us. This is Paulina, Kenzie and I at the Babson conference. So we ran a field trip there for students for the Entrepreneurship Summit last year. Where's my core two interns. We're both seniors now. One's in communications major, and the other one's a marketing major, Paulina. Yeah, this is a field trip we did to Harvard, HBS. There's the whole student crew. We took everybody, I think it was like a Saturday, and you might recognize some people in that group. And we went to an entrepreneurship conference there at Harvard, so we do a bit of that. This is at Startup Week, Boston earlier this year. We did basically a field trip there, and then I also required my 495 class, including Gabriella, to go to the Entrepreneurship Week. Okay, so some of our tenants. Now, I'm obviously not a graphic artist and not very graphically inclined, and thus the blurry. So it's not you, it's the screen. But anyway, one of our main tenants in the building that's a key player is Metro West Chamber of Commerce. They have two offices. They hold events there. We partner with them. We collaborate and do different things with them, including getting free tickets for the Taste of Metro West, for example. We've got a startup called My Care Community by Alex Wong. He's one of our EIC members, who's a coworker. It's all about elderly care. JBF Solutions is a web development, technology, and social media marketing organization. Pretty key member of ours. He actually hires a lot of interns. Blue Fusion's our newest member, really happy about this one. They've actually moved from a Boston incubator, co-working space, to Framingham. It just so happens the team lives out here. They've been commuting into Boston. They wanted something closer. So they're really jazzed. They're a brand new member. They make they basically make software for like self-driving cars and that sort of thing. We've got some grants from like the NSF and from different government organizations, the Department of Defense, DoD. So they kind of started that way. Been doing some work and they're developing car driving technology. This is one of your fellow alumni, Peter Andre, who actually is an author, a best-selling author on Amazon. He's figured out how to play the Amazon system really well and basically writing based on demand that he finds through Amazon. And he's actually hasn't yet graduated from FSU. He's taken some time off to pursue his venture, and I think he's maybe been working on it now for 4 years, but he says, yeah, eventually I'll go back and graduate. So he's in our space. We've got a decoration decor company basically that came out of a lady from TJX, used to work for TJX, started Dina Decor, her name's Dina. And we've got a real estate services company, Kevin Walsh, Fine Homes, also known as EXP Realty. They do real estate. We got a couple real estate companies in there, startups. And so, yeah, there's a sampling. The good thing is that all of the companies I just showed you, they all are interested in interns and have hired interns from FSU. Everyone in this space, they always want interns. So, some more benefits. Okay, we've got some events coming up for you. One is tomorrow, a woman-led AI startup called Notori. It's all about women's health. She's going to pitch just as she would to venture capitalists. They're actually starting to raise their A round now. So she's going to do her pitch, and students will give her feedback and ask questions. So you get to play the role of venture capitalist. Then we're going to do the same thing on March 5th with a local entrepreneur named Matt Hallerpin. It's a fintech company. It's all about helping people avoid fraud in the elderly population, which there's a lot of fraud. As you probably know, if your grandmother's ever got like weird calls and she's turned over a bank account and stuff like that. Big problem. So he's addressing that. He also is about to start fundraising too, and raising his A round. He's got traction, which means he's got early customers. He's about to fundraise. Then we have Kona Ice. This is a fun one. So this is a national food truck brand. They do ice cones, and we're having an event for students, inviting actually the whole FSU population to our parking lot for free flavored ice on the 15th. Then thank you very much. We're gonna take people to the New England Bar and Restaurant Show. That's of interest, April 26th, 27th. I looked on the website. It's free for students, which is awesome. For others, it's only like $50. Then our big event is going to be Metro West Startup Week, the week of the 27th of April. So stay tuned for that. And we're also looking for people that want to help with that. We do need volunteers. We'll have various events. They're going to be held here on campus, mostly in McCarthy, and then down at our center. And then already I have a company called sincere.com. It's a 100-person, $100 million company in Framingham that no one's ever heard of. They've got 4 consumer brands. They've been around for more than 10 years. And they are going to host an event at their space. So we're looking for more startups to host events nearby. And then this will culminate, if you want, there's Techstars Startup Weekend at Suffolk in Boston on May 1st. And then the semester kind of ends after that. Yeah, what are some field trips? We're going to take people to Babson again, the Global Entrepreneurial Leaders Conference on the 27th, and then the Latin American Business Conference at Harvard Business School. That's of interest, all about Latin America. Friday the 6th, Saturday the 7th. And the interns are hard at work and adding some more. They always tend to find opportunities to do field trips. And unfortunately, I have to say no to about half of them, or else we would like spend all of our budget. But anyway, we'll be doing more. Some more things we can offer you, co-working space. I have a new student by the name of Marcus. He's a freshman. He just joined us yesterday. He's working from there. It's free for you if you want to work from there and start your company. And we'll also give you some startup assistance, both myself and our interns. And then also we've got community members there too that are interested in can help you, community entrepreneurs. And then, of course, we've got our 495 class that we teach in the fall. It's for seniors. And basically, you're placed with an internship. You're placed with a real company to do an internship. Some are in the building, some are without. So, and we actually pay the salaries. We last term we paid 6 of the 7 salaries for people. So it made it easier for the startup companies to engage. Gabriella did her startup with a real estate company in Cambridge called East of Cambridge Real Estate Inc. or whatever it was, something like that. But anyway, it's actually it was interesting for her because it was an investment firm. So they were also like raising money. I mean, they aren't just managing real estate; they're actually investing in real estate and like renovating it. So that's pretty cool. So anyway, we had different placements. So that's in the fall. You can look for that. And basically, there's a little bit of talk session like this, and then the rest of the time you're involved with you're interning with the company, and then there's like a reflection exercise. I already talked about the LinkedIn photos, photography room. We also have a podcasting room. So I've had a few students come down there making podcasts. You're welcome to use that. It's free for you. And finally, I wanted to just tell you about, we've started a new entrepreneurship club. It's part of a network of clubs around the country and the world, really. Called Collegiate Entrepreneurs Organization. We're just launching it this month. Tomorrow is the event is the official first event. So I'd encourage you to join that. You can find more out on that on Ram's link and so forth. It's under the organization section. Okay. Awesome. That's all I had. Any more? We can help you find one. Yeah, for summer. Yeah, a lot of our companies that are in the building can hire summer interns. Almost all of them, for example. So yeah, and then also through our links with Metro West Chamber of Commerce, we also introduce you to them, and they can also help because they've got lots and lots of members in the community, small businesses mostly.
Like, what are the hours of the center?
Well, technically, it's 7 to 7, but if you're a member, you've got 24/7 access. Good question.